Today on Rec Recordings, I show you how to get professional sounding camera audio. What is up, guys? So yeah, pro camera audio. I'm sure a bunch of you have your own channels, and while your videos might be good, your audio might not be. A lot of people struggle to get great sounding audio in their videos. I understand. I was there when I first started this channel a little bit over a year ago. I would watch all these vloggers and review channels on here, and I could never figure out how they got such good audio recordings for their videos. The most important element of any video is the audio. You can have the best video equipment possible, but if you're lacking in the audio department, a lot of people will lose interest very fast. Being that my channel is all about audio, I would look pretty dumb if I didn't have professional sounding audio for my videos. First things first, never record with the on-camera mic and never use automatic gain control. This is just going to cause so much hiss that your videos will be practically unusable. Now there's exceptions, but if you're using a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, chances are the mic isn't that great. Get yourself something like a Rode VideoMic Pro or the Takstar SGC 598. Why I mention these mics is because they have the ability to boost the volume of the microphone. That's good because you get to hit the camera preamps with more volume that would be called gain staging, which then results in less hiss. So always try and boost the volume before the camera preamps if you could. Another option would be to use an external recorder and sync the audio in post. This is the route that I go with. I use an Audio-Technica AT875R shotgun mic into a 286S DBX channel strip and then into a Tascam DR40 recorder. This just gets me a very clean, noise-free sound. I like the DBX because I could process my sound, I can compress my vocal, I could de-ess it on the way in, making it easier for me to process in post. Shotgun mics are pretty much a necessity here. They're going to be focusing on what they're pointing at. Like, I have a shotgun mic right here, directly above my head, okay? It's just out of frame, you can't even see it. So this mic is pointing directly at my mouth, okay? So like where my finger is, that's how close this is. You're gonna wanna get as close as possible to the subject. That is going to eliminate a lot of the room sound, resulting in a better sounding voice recording or whatever you would be recording on your camera. Shotgun mics reject sound coming from the rear, and they'll reject a little bit coming from the sides, but mainly they're focusing on the front. So pretty much whatever you're pointing at is what sound you're going to be picking up. So yeah, I'm going from this shotgun mic into my DBX, which is mounted in my desk, and then into one of these. This is the Tascam DR40. It's a field recorder. It has a microphone on the front, but I'm not using it for that feature. Basically, I'm running a line input out of the DBX into this with my little bit of processing on it. And it's just got super clean preamps, so that's pretty much what I'm focusing on right now. It's just the cleanness of the preamps and how good they sound. My last suggestion would be to get an on-camera preamp, something like the Saramonics SR-PAX 1. I did a review on one not too long ago, but they're nice because they go right on the shoe of the camera. They have XLR, line input, and they have your standard mini jack for your on-camera microphones. So yeah, they'll plug into that, and then you gotta get an active one because the active one is going to allow you to boost the volume even more. Now I'm talking a lot about boosting volume because you want to gain stage. Okay, Canons have not the best preamps available, so they pick up a lot of noise. Your best bet is to get a microphone that has plus 10 dB or plus 20 dB outputs that you can switch on and off. Okay, so you would plug that into the, so we'll use the Saramonics SR-PAX1. I use this just to basically get a monitor and a sound into the camera just so I can sync up the audio in post and not question if I'm off or anything. It's just match up the waveforms and you're done. A passive device would not be good in this case because you can't really boost the signal. The only thing you're going to do is going to be attenuating the sound, which would be counterproductive because we're trying to get a hotter signal and less noise. This would just bring you back to step one. So with this preamp, you can connect your mics, lights, whatever else you have that has a shoe mount directly to the case. The microphone would then plug into this preamp and then the preamp to the camera. Now let's go into Studio One and I'll show you exactly how I process my voice recordings to get that professional sound. Okay, so here we are. These are the vocals from an older video, the Zilla Fatboy impulse response video that I did. The way I did this was just like previously in this video. I had my shotgun mic mounted directly above me, and yeah, let's see how that sounds. First, I listen for any room sound. If that's present, I'll use Era R, it's called. It's a plugin that removes reverb. To an extent, it can hurt your vocals as well. It can hurt your sound source, and then I'll try my best to get rid of it. So let's take a listen and see what we got going on here. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Okay, so it sounds clean, but I can hear a little bit of some room echo in there. So let's take that out. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do, go up to, it's from a company called Acusonus. It's called Era R. Okay, so the way I do it, I just leave it how it is, and I'll just adjust this knob until I get the desired effect. Now I'll run through it, and I'll bring the knob from 0 all the way up to 100, because you can see exactly what it does. So here we go. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Okay, so now do you hear how nice that sounds? Sounds like it was recorded in a vocal booth, but in reality, it was just right out in the open of my little room I have here. So then next what I'll do, I'll grab Slate Virtual Mix Rack. First thing I go for is FG116 Vintage or Modern. It doesn't really matter. I mean, they're gonna sound a little different, but I like the voicing of the Vintage, so I always go for the Vintage. So the way I set this up, attack is the fastest, and then release, I'll try and get it in the middle there. A 4:1 compression ratio, and then I'll move the input dial until I see about 5 to 10 dBs of gain reduction. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. Next, I'll grab CS Lift. I'll use this just to, accentuate the high and the low end. And yeah, see how that sounds. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Okay, so there's that. And then sometimes I like to put like some type of a console or preamp emulator on it. I mean, it's not often that I actually do it, but today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse See, in this case, it's not gonna work because it's just distorting. So that we don't want. So pretty much we're done there. So again, we can listen to it. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Maybe back off a little bit of compression here because it's getting a little spiky up towards the top, the beginning of this. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available. Okay, now there's that. Now I'll grab a de-esser. So I use Waves de-esser, obviously mono or stereo, depending, whatever it is. I just leave it where it's set. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Okay, that's pretty good. And then last, I'll take a limiter just so I can raise the volume up and not clip. Set my ceiling to -1, fastest release. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the... So basically with this limiter, all you're doing is raising the volume but clipping the loudest peaks. So you don't want to be doing the entire vocal. You only want to be doing the loudest portions. Okay, you don't want a lot of gain reduction because this is also technically a compressor. So you'll start getting like a little bit of a way too compressed sound. Now we'll take a listen what each piece did individually. So I'll turn everything off. So I'll play through it and you can hear that sounds. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Zilla Fatboy is the newest product available from Jigsaw Audio. Today on Rack Recordings, we check out the Zilla Fatboy impulse responses from Jigsaw Audio. Okay, so there's that, and now we'll bounce her down, and there's our vocal. There it is. All pretty. So yeah, it's not super even, but a little dynamics never hurt. So yeah, that is how I edit my vocals and process them. Like I said, I run through a DBX 286S mic preamp, processor, channel strip, whatever you want to call it. And then I go directly into a Tascam DR40. It's just clean all the way around. So that's it. I hope I was able to help you out and answer some of your questions if you had any. Yeah, if you have any more questions or you're wondering why I did what I did in this video, post them in the comments. I'll answer them to the best that I could anyway. Everything is linked below. All the equipment used, camera, mics, preamps, whatever, all down there in the description. So thank you so much for watching today, guys, and I'll see you next time.